Hey there, Jed Coburn is here, and on this episode, we talk about pattern interruption. Ready for it?
Before starting any exercise program, always get cleared by a primary care doctor.
So, this is the Exercise Physiology Show. My name is Jed Coburness. Get that one right. You're going to hear a lot more of it lately. Jed Coburness, right? Coburness. K-O-B-E-R-N-U-S-Z. I love each and every person who ever shows up. Good morning, Esther. I love you guys. This is some good stuff today. Some pattern interruption. I bring to you whatever I learned from my mentors, my coaches, okay, how to change. Physiology shows where we talk about the physiology of the mind, the physiology of the body, and the physiology of the spirit. Pretty soon, I probably won't be doing these in my car. I would love to not do these in the car. I just fit it in my daily routine. But here we go. So pattern interruption. We always think about change. We always think about how to change. What do we change? This is a good one. Just because it comes down to habits, right? We always talk about like habitual this and habits that, and how do I change my habits? But it really, pattern interruption is one of those things where I think maybe you've heard it before, but if you haven't, it's something that you may have thought about it, but you've never really known how to execute it, right? So you have your same habits, you have your same patterns, and you know you want to change. Let's say you want to lose weight. Let's say you want to make money. Let's say you want to be successful, right? But you don't know how. You have these same patterns every day. Well, it reminds me of a dog, right? A grandpa, a grandson, and a dog, okay? The grandson the dog continues to sit on this nail and stand back up. Sit on the nail and stand back up. Sit on the nail and stand back up. So the grandson asks, well, Grandpa, why does the dog continually sit down on the nail? Well, the grandpa says, well, son, it's because he hasn't been uncomfortable enough not to. He hasn't hit that pattern interruption to not sit, to continue to try to sit down, right? It's in his comfort zone to completely just keep trying to sit down on this nail. And that's what it is. You have to interrupt the pattern. Maybe try sitting beside the nail. Interrupt this pattern. If you're thinking every day that you're going to have time at the end of the day to work out, and it just keeps happening and happening and happening, and you keep trying and trying and trying, and you're not succeeding at that, maybe that time isn't the best for you right now. You have to try something different, right? Let me know if you can hear me, because I never know if a person can hear me. But, yeah. That's really what it comes down to. Is knowing that. Okay, good. You can hear me. Excellent. Whole bunch going on today. Tap that screen if there's some hearts going to be flying out. If not, that's okay. This is, live to you from Periscope sometimes. Actually, most of the time I'll put this on recording on YouTube. But, yeah, so the pattern interruption. Sorry, I got interrupted myself. It comes down to just making sure you guys can hear me. But Pattern interruption. Finding times, finding days that work for you to switch these patterns that we're in. When do you sit on the nail enough? When have you sat down on the nail and experienced enough pain to change some patterns, to interrupt those patterns, right? When have you sat down on that nail enough to interrupt those patterns? When is your pain point? What is your pain point? When is enough enough? And that is my question to you. So how do you change this stuff? How do you interrupt your pattern, right? How do you get to this interruption? Well, and I'm not outside of this, right? Like, this is one of the hardest things, you know, for me, that I have overcome, that I already have, right? And I've been there. It's okay. Like, habits, like, I am a creature of habit. Human beings generally are, but I am pretty extreme when it comes to habits, when it comes to patterns, when it comes to X, Y, Z. If it doesn't go in that order, it almost ruins my day. But I've learned now to not let it, for one, and then two, I learn how to follow these patterns. So how do you do this, right? My suggestion, and that has worked for me, is find a planner. I have a passion planner, actually, and it is working. It is like crazy on how in tune it really is. Okay? If you want that passion planner, let me know. I can send it to you. Get on my newsletter. I'll send it to you. Right? jedcoburnus.com/newsletter, and I'll get it to you. It is a very helpful, very strategic planner. You know, that's your first one. Number two is to fill out the planner, right? I mean, you can't just have a planner. You have to fill it out, right? You have to interrupt those patterns, right? You want it. Good. Right? I'll send it to you. Send it to you, Esther. No problem. So it is. You have to interrupt those patterns, and the planner really helps you and guides you to that, right? But you have to start it. You have to write it, and you actually have to. The caveat to that is you have to follow it, right? You have to stick to it. Now that takes practice. Perfect practice makes perfect, right? What Vince Lombardi said once, that practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. I like that, right? Nobody's perfect, but if you have the mindset of really getting in there and changing, really getting in there and interrupting those patterns, right? That's what your planner does for you. And then I would say, you know, that's your second one, is make a schedule and stick to it. Number 3 would be find a mentor, right? Find a mentor that where you are at is not where you want to be. Find a mentor that is where you want to be, right? That's a big deal. Find a mentor where they're at is where you want to be. See if they'll help you. Mentorship should be free. It should be free. That's what I believe. Mentorship should be free. Consulting, that's a different story. Consulting is a very different story. Yeah, awesome. Esther, right on. Yeah, thank you. I mean, yeah. I am your mentor, and that is so cool, and I appreciate that. And that's really what it is. Mentorship should be free. You shouldn't have to pay for guidance, for care, for love, right? No way. No way should you have to pay for that. Consulting, on the other hand, yeah, you know what? That does. Because consulting takes it to the next level of what does this look like for you? Okay? I do a lot of mentoring on my newsletter, jedcorporates.com/newsletter. So if you want that, that's free. Like, that's a free way to get your tips and hints and tricks and ways, like today's pattern interruption. Like, let's say you wake up every morning and you're like, oh, okay, I really want to work out this morning, but I just don't have the energy for it. Okay? Put that in your mind. Eventually, if you continue to say that, one of those days you're going to work out. You just have to keep interrupting the pattern. Hey, thank you, Esther. Wow. It really comes down to that. Keep interrupting those patterns. Because change, we all want to change. But what patterns are you doing today to help you, to help your mind, your body, your spirit? What questions are you asking yourself to find this perfect life, right? What does that look like for you? Well, I know what it looks like for me. And I'm there. I'm totally there. And I'm working on it. I'm helping other people with that, with figuring out what that looks like for them. And that is where I am. That's my perfect life. Interrupt your patterns today. Do something just a little different, a little better than yesterday. That's what it's going to take. Have an amazing day today. Because today's the only thing we can worry about. Not yesterday. Forgive yourself for what you think you didn't get done yesterday. Prepare yourself for tomorrow, but don't worry about what's to come. Living for today. That's how you do it. Be grateful for today. And as always, if you're willing to change from the neck up, you will change from the neck down. I believe in you. Now it's your turn. jedcorporates.com/newsletter. Have a great day.